Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I'm a little disappointed because I really wanted to do some meditations outside this week. I thought the weather's getting warmer, I can start going outside, and I can take my lawn chair out in the yard, and I can sit on the patio, and I can do some fun videos outside and do some story times and things like that. And it has just been raining every single day. And today, it has been like steady drizzle all day today. And I don't mind a rainy day, but at this point, after having been inside for so long, it's like, I'm ready to have some sunshiny days and be able to go outside and all that kind of stuff, you know? So anyway, let's go in and do some meditations. You know, why not? When it's a Tuesday and you're stuck inside and it's raining, what else than a meditation? How about a meditation? So anyway, let's go in here. I'm actually going to start with the Melody Beatty book today, Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on the Path to Freeing Your Soul. I always pick the books that I haven't read in the morning. So let's go in here to May 19th, and let's see. I just realized that my Audible credits come through today. I'm really excited about that, so I can go buy more books. I looked in there and it said something like my library in my Audible has something like 400 and some titles in it. I mean, I've listened to like over, 300 books or something like that, but that's crazy, you know? Day 19, don't be afraid of making mistakes. This is kind of funny and I'll tell you why in a second. Don't be so afraid of making a mistake. That energy can create more mistakes. It can stop us from, okay, Tucker. That energy can create, well, let me tell you what happened, first of all, is I just went in to make my review video, and I reviewed this product yesterday that I read the directions, but I didn't do what it said to do with the directions, and so literally every comment was like, Peter, you're supposed to be doing this instead of that. So I went in and I did a redo of it, and just kind of made fun of the fact that I had made a mistake about it. So anyway, May 19th, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be so afraid of making a mistake. That energy can create more mistakes. It can stop us from enjoying what we're doing. It can block us from creating freely and making something beautiful. Sometimes it's necessary and important to make mistakes, to fumble around and do something poorly so we can learn to do it better next time. No matter what we're doing or what we're learning, we have to start somewhere. Look back at the past. We learned by trying, stumbling, falling, getting back up, and trying again. But we wouldn't be where we're at if we hadn't begun where we were. Jump in, begin, and do the task as the best you can. Jump in, begin, and do the task as best you can. Stop worrying about mistakes and let yourself do it as well as you can right now. If you do it wrong or poorly, you can do it over again. And when you do it in an attitude of love, you won't fail. You'll learn something new about yourself, life, and the task. Love yourself enough to try. Let yourself make mistakes. Tell yourself you don't have to do it perfectly. Let yourself have fun while you're learning. Start where you are and do what you can. Learning and getting better will happen from there. You may not always know the best way in the beginning, but if you keep trying, you'll quickly learn to tell when you're on track. I really, really like this meditation, and it reminds me of the book that we read for this channel. I just realized I haven't read May's book, so we may be pushing it to June, it was the March and April book too, so same book. But when I read the book Make Your Bed, one of the lessons that he said in there was that great leaders make mistakes, or making mistakes leads to great leaders. But you have to be open to the lesson. You have to be open to, what am I going to learn from this? I am a believer that it's not about falling on your face. It's about falling on your face and getting back up and saying to myself, what did I learn from this? What do I need to learn from this? How do I go forward? On and on and on. And I'm a big believer that we have to make mistakes. If we don't make mistakes, we're not going to learn. I don't know, people ask me a lot, what are some of your big turnoffs? I don't really have a lot of turnoffs in people, I think that those individual character differences about all of us is what makes us interesting. But I have to say that, one of my turnoffs, if I have any really, I would say, is when people are unwilling to learn, that they come across as I know everything, you can't teach me anything, whatever. And it's not even so much as a turnoff as it is kind of like a sad reflection, I think, that that person has stopped, they're done. There's nothing else that they can be taught. There's nothing else that they can learn. We're all going to make mistakes. And I think it's about the learning from it. And I also believe that mistakes are presented to us as learning opportunities, but it's what you do with it in that moment. It's am I going to turn myself off from the lesson and just make excuses? Or am I going to be open to making the mistake? I love the book, If Life Were a Game, These Are the Rules by Dr. Sheree Scott. And in the book, she says, in life you will be presented with lessons. Lessons are repeated until they are learned, right? Well, okay, if you think about going to school and you're given like math problems or lessons, right? And let's say you get the problem wrong or you make a mistake on it. How are you going to learn? By having it corrected, doing it again, and doing it again until you get it right. And once you get it right, then you go on to the next level. That's kind of like how you go from basic math to geometry to algebra to geometry to, you know, on and on, calculus and things like that. But you couldn't just be like, so I guess like the kind of person that is like a little bit of a turnoff for me is a person that is on a basic math level that's acting like I don't need to be taught calculus because I already know everything. Well, no, you don't, you know? And we all need to be open to the greater lesson out there. And what makes me sad about it, honestly, is that I really truly believe that the human experience is about, I believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, okay? And so then, if you think of it that way, or the way that I think of it, you don't have to, but, you know, then the reason for us being here, I believe, is to learn lessons, is to grow as human beings, is to wake up every day and attempt to be a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. Well, how do you do that if you're not open to the lesson? And the other thing is, if you look in your life, what is Tucker doing back there? He's like, I want treats. But, you know, if you look at your life and you look at the consistent, like, lessons that have been repeated, chances are a lot of those lessons have been repeated because you have refused to learn the lesson. And you continue to make mistakes, right? We're all going to make mistakes. All of us. But it's like, you know, I'm trying, like, let's just go, like, spelling mistakes, you know? If you think about a word that you misspelled over and over and over, you know, I had a friend of mine that was from Gochi, Mississippi, and I could not spell Mississippi when I was a kid to save my life, right? And then I met her, and she moved here and went to school with me, and she became one of my good friends, and she said, there's a real easy way in Mississippi that they teach us to spell Mississippi. And so she taught me this way, and so like in my head, I still say that. And I was somebody that loved spelling as a kid, but I had little tricks in my head, and my mom would teach it to me. So like, with Chicago, because we would go to Chicago a lot, and so like if I was writing like in 3rd grade, we went to Chicago this weekend, I couldn't remember how to spell it, right? And so in my head it was Chic-a-go, and my mom said to me like, you know, chic, something chic, you know, which I don't know why at 3rd grade I could spell chic, but I couldn't spell Chicago. But you know, like my mom would always have little tricks like that. Well, you're going to make mistakes, right? You're going to, you know, it was funny because one of my friends has a really, really long name. And he posted on Facebook, well, he probably wouldn't care. His name's Demetrius, okay? And he posted something on Facebook last night, and it was so funny. And he said, like, 1st grade me being bitter because I have to spell Demetrius, and then there's Ben, B-E-N, right? They are, like, wanting to wrestle today. What is going on? Y'all just had your dinner. You should be so thankful. You know what we're doing this evening? We're making gratitude lists. Yes, we are. We're making gratitude lists, Boo Radley, about everything that you guys should be so grateful for your lives. He said, I don't care. I'm ready to go on an adventure. But anyway, I love the idea of learning from mistakes, you know, because if not, then what are they for? You know what I mean? All right, let's go into the next meditation. Oh, wait. This part of the book didn't go with the rest. What part should we read next, Boo Radley? He's just sitting up there. Hi. Can I just tell you what is so funny? I don't know if you can see it right here, but if you can see it on his feet, Boo Radley's little feet. Okay, so they go out and they run around in the yard, and I go out there and they just want to run and run and run, and I go, Boo Radley, come in here. Tucker, come in here. It's time for treats. Is it time for treats yet? In just a second it will be. But they come in, and what's so funny is they're so furry. I actually got grooming appointments with them finally. Finally, we got some grooming appointments, but we're weeks away from that. But they come inside, and their little feet are so soaking wet that they're like, it's like furry, and it's like they have little boots on. These boots are made for walking. Okay, what should we read next, Boo Radley? What do you think? He said, Nightlight by Amy Dean. I love her. You love Amy Dean? He said, I love her. Why do you love Amy Dean? I just do. She's so nice. You don't even know her, Boo Radley. I think I do. Don't tell me what I don't know. Okay, so let's go in here and read. These dogs are wanting a lot of attention today. So I don't know if you guys will relate to this at all, but my husband was home for 3 months. I miss him. I miss him being at home now. But, you know, he was home for 2.5 months or whatever, you know, since we were all at home on lockdown. And they literally followed him around all day long. Well, before that, they followed me around, you know, like that's what every day was them following me around. But for like the last 2 months, like, you know, Alex would be upstairs and he would be watching TV and they would be laying down next to him. And so they've been with him like all this time. And now that he's back to work, You are my friends, aren't you? I was going to try to sing that song by, what is it, James Taylor? You've got a friend, or whatever it's called. Okay, let's get to the meditation. Y'all don't care. May 19th. Happiness is knowing that you do not necessarily require happiness. William Sarion. We do believe happiness comes from material things. Do we believe happiness comes from material things? Yet stereos break down, clothes become worn, and cars attract scratches and dents. Do we believe we will be happy with a promotion or move? Yet new jobs and new homes soon become old jobs and old homes. We'll yearn again for another change, another challenge. The struggle to attain happiness becomes easier when we realize we can be happy without having to struggle for it. We can be happy just by knowing we don't have to have the new car or the new home or perfection in our lives. This is so weird. This is a God moment right here. Our happiness can come from just being ourselves, living each day, doing what we need to do for ourselves. To be happy means we don't need to struggle to find happiness. Tonight, I can be happy with myself and where I am right now. Okay, so myself and 6 other friends, I think it's 6, I counted it out yesterday, there's 7 of us total. We are doing a 12-step, on Monday nights, we do a 12-step, like Zoom reading group together. It's not a meeting. We are just reading 12-step literature. And so it's so much fun. What we do is we go around and each of us reads for like 5 minutes. And then when we get done with the chapter, we go back and we each like share like a personal experience or whatever about it. And last night we were talking about character defects or defects of character. And it was such a great meeting. I got off the meeting and I said, I got off the, you know, the reading and Alex was like, how did it go? And I was like, I feel so peaceful and serene. It was so fantastic. But you know, like I had just done this video over here the other day where I was talking about perfectionism, and that perfectionism for me is like a sense of needing to control things, and it's a way for me to control things and feel better. And I said, like, I'm really a perfectionist. And it was interesting because one of my friends in the group shared, not even knowing that I had made the video, having no idea that I had watched the video. She had no idea. She made some response about like, you know, that perfectionism, something to the degree that like people that say that they're perfectionists like wear it like a badge of honor. And she was kind of like talking about it. And I was like, that is kind of true, you know, like I did that like in the video. And she was talking about to some degree, you know, like how it just was, I don't know, but it made me think and it made me feel very like relieved. Like all of a sudden it was like, I don't have to have a perfect clean house. Everything doesn't have to be in perfect order. You know, I guess like I attempt to have everything in order and everything, and I don't have to do that. And just by listening to her share her experience about going from being a perfectionist to not needing to be a perfectionist anymore, it was like literally like my shoulders were like this and it was like, have you ever felt like that? Like this weight is lifted off your shoulders? I just was like, I don't have this need to be this perfectionist anymore. If I get some things done, I get some things done. You know, and it's something that I've really battled for a long time. I'm a list maker and on and on and on. But just in hearing that last night was so fantastic, you know? And it's like, I think to some degree my happiness is measured, or I measure my happiness by like how controlled do I have this, like, did I get this stuff done? Did I do this? Did I fold the laundry? Is everything in my closet look straight and orderly? You know, on and on and on. And that is not happiness. You know, happiness sometimes is just sitting back and watching, you know, an episode of a Netflix show. And that's where I find a lot of enjoyment. And just in hearing that last night, do you ever just hear somebody say something and it just relieves you so greatly? It's like, oh God, like, thank you. Thank you for that peace and serenity that you have just offered me, you know? Like, after I heard that, I just was like, I don't think I have this need to be a perfectionist anymore. And if the dishes sit in the sink and they don't make it to the dishwasher tomorrow, that's okay. Like, I don't have to stay up an extra hour, you know? The other day, like, I forgot to upload my vlog onto my YouTube channel while I was sleeping, and I woke up, and this was just yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, well, you know, it's like, but I, like, get away from that stuff pretty quickly these days, but I was, you know, it's like there's not this need to have to get it done right every single time, and I'll learn as I go, and I think that's okay. And just hearing her last night and reading this meditation again today, both of these meditations, is just a reminder that I'm a student of life. You know, I'm never going to get it perfect. I'm never going to be a straight A. I never was, and I don't care. And, you know, even when I didn't get great grades in high school, I never really cared. I'm never going to be the most perfect example of living in the entire world. But, you know, if I'm willing to get up and try a little harder each day and just try to be a better version of myself and learn from my past and learn from my mistakes, and really, it's about the living in with intention. What's your intention? If my intention is to be the best version of myself, to learn from all of those things, then I've got a pretty good chance, you know? I've got a pretty good chance for a good life. And so those are great meditations for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.